Gore lizards, 80s rock, deep weapon customization, and absolute chaos are the best ways for me to describe today's game. What's going on, guys? Vulkan here, and today I'm talking about a game called Ascendant. And I also want to thank PlayFusion for sponsoring this video. And if you guys like what you see, please go out and wishlist Ascendant using the link in the description below. Now, this one hits close to home for me because as someone who grew up in arena shooters like Unreal Tournament, Halo, Quake, one of my favorite modes was Capture the Flag. And Ascendant takes this mode and adapts it to modern gaming by pitting squads against one another in a biopunk world to capture precious items called biocores. Now, the real kicker here is that you aren't just dropping into the world with static weapons and fighting over map control and things like that. Instead, you're dropped in with a starter weapon and you can find other weapons, shields, upgrades, power, and a whole slew of other things on the map to help give you the advantage. Now, some of these are bought with currency, others are found in the bowels of creatures like the burrower. If you slay the beast, you get the loot. So there is a PvE element to this one as well. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, wow, Vulkan, this sounds like a battle royale or a looter shooter. You'd be wrong. This is a squad-based shooter through and through. These little kind of extra mechanics are ways that Ascendant is helping set itself apart from other games in the genre. So let me explain. When you drop into a match in Ascendant, you start off with a basic weapon and whatever perks and abilities that you chose back in the lobby before the game. From here, you want to start finding some shields and start farming power, which is the currency used to interact with shops around the map, or some cool map features like airstrikes that you can send out to wipe out your opponents. Now, there are also creatures around the map you need to interact with. You have snails to farm power, shields, and kind of stuff to get started. These are relatively docile creatures, and they just give you a good kind of starter kit to get out into the game. Then you have gore lizards. These are stronger and they drop some decent loot like upgraded shields, new weapons, etc. There's also a burrower that he does what he says he does. He burrows underground and pops back up. He's a little bit more meaty when it comes to health, but if you can take him out, he is also a loot pinata. He will explode and there's a ton of different stuff that you can get. Now, this isn't loot you can take with you, but this is just things that you can use within the game, such as, again, upgraded shields, new weapons, things like a hyper cannon, which is a one-shot kill weapon, which is awesome. And there's even robot drones out in the world that you can interact with as well, both for you and against you. So the PvE element adds a little extra something that really kind of pulled me into the game and made it a little bit more engaging from my point of view. Now, once you have a good foundation to play on, you got some shields, got a new weapon, you can start making a move towards one of the biocores. Now, these are the objectives in each map. Once time runs out or all of the biocores are captured, the game's over. But how you go about doing this is 100% up to you. Do you go and farm some upgraded weapons from creatures, golden loot rockets, or shops? Or do you wait patiently for your opponents to get the biocores and then slay and steal it while they're running back to their base? The choice is yours, and you just need to embrace the chaos. Now, the biggest question I imagine that you're asking is, well, Vulkan, what happens when you die? Are you kicked out to the lobby like in a battle royale? What exactly happens here? And the answer is no. Each member has multiple lives, so there's no one and done here. Instead, you'll simply choose a respawn point and drop back in for another try. The thing here is you can unlock respawn points for your team. So you can unlock some that are relatively close to one of the cores. You could just stick with your home base. You could unlock a forward base. There's different points to unlock. That way you can be strategic with where you respawn. Now, recently, I was invited to a creator event to play the game alongside some longtime insiders and developers. I had an absolute blast. So the game itself was polished, it was engaging, I didn't have any issues, and it worked. And it felt like it was something that they spent a lot of time making sure that it worked on a lot of different machines. Now, like I said, being someone who loved Team Objective and Halo, this felt different but comfortable. During these matches, I got to experience multiple ways to play the game, and each time around was vastly different than the previous. But the big question, right, is what do we do outside of the matches? Do we just go match, or is there something else to the game? And I'm glad you asked. When you aren't fighting over cores, you're spending time in the lobby, which is actually a large shared space full of vendors, games, parkour time trials, and more. There's even hide and seek in there that you can kick off and go and hide and play with other players. So it was very, very cool. Now, remember those biocores I talked about? It's important to capture those because it's not just how you win the match, but you get to take those with you back to the lobby and then use them to level up and unlock new recipes from vendors. These recipes can unlock new cosmetics, abilities, and weapon customization parts, which I want to talk about now. So one of the cool parts of this game that I really loved is the weapon customization. And I don't mean changing colors, adding like a logo or an image to your gun. You can do that if you want to. But what I mean is that you can create a fully custom gun just for you, fine-tuned to your playstyle, and you can even name it. So when you do this, you're going to start off with a base model, like a battle rifle. And then from there, you can customize the barrel, the magazine, the bullet type, the stock, how it interacts, how it works. The full system is incredibly deep. And once you create a custom gun, in-game, you can spend power. Now remember, this is the in-match currency that you farm. It's called power. To buy that custom weapon from a store in the game. This gives you a really cool way to customize your experience and how you want to play. You aren't just bound to whatever the developers have put into the game or whatever they think is going to work best. You can create a weapon that truly fits you. And the cool thing is, let's say you want to experience what somebody else had put together. Great. If you go and you slay them in the game, they will drop that custom weapon because whenever you kill another opponent, they're going to drop everything that they have. So if they have a custom gun that they've put together, you can then pick up that gun. It's yours now until you die. And then at that point, you drop it for the next person. So it's like the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, but with guns. So some examples. During my time, I got to play with a few custom guns the developers put together. There was a cluster bomb sniper rifle. So if you shot near someone, it would deal splash damage. Great for forcing people out of a hiding spot. An absolute bullet hose of an SMG, a life drain power glove, and a battle rifle that just tore through shields. So all of these, the custom way they're built is just, it's awesome. It lets you add a little bit of identity to the game. So all in all, my time with the game was a fun one. I cannot wait to get back into the matches, start unlocking more parts for my own weapon, and just experiencing what they have in the lobby. For those who are like me, you guys enjoy Capture the Flag, squad shooters, even just arena shooters, or I mean, gosh, if you just want to embrace the chaos, check out Ascendant. You can visit the link below to wishlist today, and make sure to play the demo during Steam Next Fest on October 14th because it'll be available. You can go check it out and get in and see all of this for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Vulkan, and I'll talk to you next time.